Every time you spend money, you are not just buying something. You are revealing something. Something deep, something personal, something that was written into you long before you ever had a dollar of your own. Your spending habits are not random. They are a direct window into your childhood. And what they reveal might surprise you completely. Think about how you spend money when nobody is watching. Do you buy things impulsively the moment you feel stressed or bored? Do you hoard money and feel physically uncomfortable spending even when you can afford to? Do you spend generously on everyone around you but struggle to spend anything on yourself? Do you make big purchases to feel powerful or in control when other areas of your life feel chaotic? None of these patterns came from nowhere. Every single spending habit you have today has a root. And almost always that root goes back to something you experienced, witnessed, or felt during your childhood years, before you even understood what money was. Psychologists who study money behavior consistently find that our financial patterns as adults are deeply connected to our earliest emotional experiences around money. Not the logical lessons we were taught, the emotional experiences we lived through, the arguments you overheard, the things you were told you could not have, the way money was used as love or withheld as punishment, the financial stress that hung in the air even when nobody talked about it directly. All of it got recorded, and all of it is still playing. The first spending pattern and what it reveals, impulse spending. If you are someone who spends impulsively, especially when you are stressed, bored, sad, or anxious, there is almost always an emotional root beneath it. For many impulse spenders, the root is deprivation. Growing up in an environment where there was never enough, where wanting things felt hopeless, where the answer was almost always no. And so as an adult, the moment you have money and the ability to say yes to yourself, your brain grabs it. Immediately, before it disappears. Before someone takes it away, before the opportunity closes. The impulse is not really about the thing being purchased. It is about finally having permission to want something and get it. It is about filling a childhood void that was never properly addressed. Recognizing this does not mean you are broken. It means you are human, and it means the path forward is not more willpower. It is understanding what emotional need the spending is actually trying to meet, and finding healthier ways to meet it. Now here is the pattern that surprises people the most, because it looks like a virtue from the outside. The second pattern, compulsive saving and the inability to enjoy money. Not all problematic spending patterns involve spending too much. Some involve spending too little. If you hoard money obsessively, if you feel genuine anxiety every time you spend even on things you need and can afford, if no amount of savings ever feels like enough, this pattern also has a childhood root. For most compulsive savers, the root is financial trauma. Growing up in real scarcity, watching parents lose jobs, experiencing genuine financial instability that felt terrifying and out of control. And so as an adult, money in the bank feels like safety. Spending money, even responsibly, feels like standing on the edge of that terrifying cliff again. The brain learned that having money equals survival, and spending it even a little feels like a step toward danger. This pattern looks responsible from the outside, but it quietly robs people of the ability to enjoy the life their money is supposed to support. And that is its own kind of poverty. And this third pattern is the one that keeps people completely invisible financially. The third pattern, spending on everyone else but yourself. Do you find it easy to be generous with others but almost impossible to spend money on yourself without guilt? This pattern almost always traces back to a childhood where love and money were connected, where being good meant being selfless, where putting yourself first was framed as wrong or shameful. Or it traces back to a household where there genuinely was not enough, and you learned early to take less so others could have more. That survival adaptation served you then, protected the people you loved, but you carried it into adulthood, and now it is costing you. Because every time you spend on others instead of building your own financial foundation, you are making yourself financially weaker. And a financially weak person cannot take care of anyone long term. Spending on yourself is not selfish. Investing in your own financial health is one of the most generous things you can do for the people who depend on you. Here is the most important thing I want you to take from this video. Your spending habits are not character flaws. They are survival strategies that made complete sense at some point in your life. They protected you. They helped you cope. They got you through. But you are not a child anymore. And the strategies that protected you then are limiting you now. The work is not to shame yourself for your patterns. The work is to see them clearly, to trace them back to their roots, to thank them for what they did, and then to consciously choose something different going forward. Your childhood shaped you, but it does not have to define you. I want you to do something after this video. Just sit quietly for a moment and ask yourself, which of these 3 patterns do I recognize in myself? Impulse spending, compulsive saving, spending on everyone but yourself. Drop your answer in the comments. Be honest, because naming it is the first step to changing it. And if this video opens something up for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it, because this is the kind of conversation that changes lives. Hit subscribe because next week we are talking about why lottery winners go broke, the shocking truth about sudden wealth, that one is going to challenge everything. I will see you there.